Hey guys, this episode is brought to you by Smart for Life.
Between podcasting, traveling, and everyday life, John and I are always on the go, which makes it hard to plan and cook healthy meals every day. But thanks to Smart for Life, we never miss out on great tasting, balanced nutrition.
That's absolutely right. Smart for Life is a doctor-designed health and wellness company that specializes in delicious and nutritionally balanced snacks with a focus on weight management and overall well-being.
They have so many amazing choices from cookies to kits. But my favorite is their gourmet protein bars.
Tell them your favorite flavor, Teresa.
It's s'mores.
True. Smart for Life does have s'more protein bars. They also have lemon protein bars, cinnamon pecan protein bars, and more. You can even choose a variety box.
And they don't just taste great. They are made with high-quality ingredients, too.
So whether we're traveling or recording back-to-back podcasts, Smart for Life has become our go-to meal replacement.
And if you are watching your portions like me, each bar is individually wrapped.
Now here's the best part. Right now we can save you 20% on your next order by using promo code MREAL20 at smartforlife.com.
That's right. Just use promo code MREAL20, which is MREAL20 at smartforlife.com for 20% off.
Thank you to Smart for Life for sponsoring this podcast. And Teresa, hand over that smorf. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Married to Reality. I'm your co-host, John, here with my wife and co-host. I love her so much. I'd say she's probably tied with my family. It's the one and only Teresa.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? And I don't want to sound like Jasmine, but you need to take it back because I think it's not being tied. I know you're joking, but I think...
Who says I'm joking?
I think you are the most important person in my life, and then our families. I'm not taking away from them, but we always talk about it, and now we are the main family.
We are the main family.
Would you agree with me?
I agree.
I'm not taking any love away from our parents, but I think it's a different love. I think the way we feel about each other, they feel about each other, right? And then they have the kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think when it comes to priority, I prioritize you over
anyone.
When it comes to love, I think we're in a unique circumstance because we love our parents and our families so much.
Yes.
I don't think everyone has that necessarily, that same love that we do. I think we're fortunate in that sense.
Very fortunate.
So when I put you at the same love level as my family, it's because it can't get higher for either. So it'd be kind of a lie to be like, oh yeah, I love you more than my family. I love you equally. You guys are all my family. Is this wrong? If you said you loved me more than you loved your parents, I would be like, whoa, that's harsh.
It's a different love. Like for me, I can't compare the two because I don't love my parents like I love you. It's very different.
Completely.
I love them for who they are. They raised me and we good. We have a good relationship. I love your parents for the same reasons. Not that they raised me, but they raised you and we good. We have great relationships.
I don't know where this new slogan is coming from.
We good? I don't
Teresa.
know. Just trying something new.
We good. Well, I would try something else.
You know what I mean. But like when it comes to you, it's a different love. Not taken away from our families. It's just different.
Okay.
Wouldn't you agree?
I agree. I don't know if that's what this argument was between Gino and Jasmine.
Well, I think Jasmine just wants to be the only person in his life. What I'm saying is like and you said it, we love our families and we care for them and we involve them in our lives for a reason, right? I think Jasmine's trying to do the opposite. She's trying to get rid of Gino's family.
And that's the point I was going to make. I think it's completely different because Jasmine hates Uncle Marco and cousin Dana. And so to hear that, oh my God, you love them, even if it's as much as me, she can't stand them. So she can't even fathom how she could be on the same level as those guys.
And it all comes back to your initial comment that we are fortunate because not that you love your family and I love my family, but because we love each other's families.
Correct.
Your family just accepted me immediately. And if you think about it, I was in the same position of all these foreigners, right? You're bringing home a foreigner. I didn't need your...
A little bit different.
I didn't need your green card.
That's sort of the difference a little bit. You did need my green card eventually. You didn't need it right off the bat.
No, I didn't, but I also always told you I'm down to move back to Europe if you come with me.
Right. The main difference between us and our friends on 90 is you were in the States when we met.
Yes.
I do think as cool as my parents are and accepting and understanding, I think they would have pushed me a little bit harder if I said, oh, I'm moving Teresa over here from the Czech Republic versus, yeah, she lives in New York currently, and in a few years, yes, her visa will expire and she will need a green card, and my parents were understanding of that. But if I said,
you had that conversation with your parents?
I'm sure. They were probably like, yeah, what's her status? What's her deal? How is she here? Yeah, of course.
Okay, interesting.
And they were all totally understanding and accepting and loved you from day one, of course.
Oh, they really, really did. And my parents did too, even though you didn't think so about my dad and his driving.
Nice.
But then my mom welcomed you with all the slivovitz and food.
Oof.
Didn't you feel loved immediately?
I felt drunk immediately. And then when I sobered up, I was like, oh, I think she loves me.
They do, both of them. Believe me, our parents are coming to, we're doing this family vacation soon. And my parents are planning gifts for everyone. So they love everyone.
Easy on the alcohol, Ivana. That's what I'll say. All right. Let's do a little business before we get into the meat of this episode real quick. We're on Patreon. We're on Supercast. Patreon.com/marriedtoreality. marriedtoreality.supercast.com. What we're doing over there is covering the other way. It's quite the season.
Season.
We're covering it starting at the Cousins Club level. It's also on the Family Affair level. So check it out if you're interested in that. If you want more content, Patreon and Supercast. Also, we're on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod. You can message us there. We share updates over there. We do memes once in a while over there. So make sure you're following along so you don't miss a thing on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod.
Yes.
Also, make sure you're just following the podcast wherever you're listening. Wherever you're listening right now, it's so easy to do. You just look down and smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's as hot as that freaking ball of hummus.
I knew you were going to say it. I wish you made me guess what your smash it like it's hot was going to be, because I was going to say that.
I almost felt like you knew, because when they brought that ball of hummus in front of Meisha and Nicola, John is like, we love a good hummus.
Sucker for a good hummus. Shout out to Dunder Mifflin and Sabre.
We love the Kirkland makes really good hummus.
Oh, shout out to Costco.
Yeah. You know what's the best about the Costco hummus? So they have multiple, but they saw these hummus in smaller portions. It's in a box, so it's like individual little hummuses.
Yeah, snack pack.
Yeah, so like you can just open up and eat one, and it's almost like a portion control. Plus, I hate like once you open the hummus, like you don't want to leave it open for too long.
Yeah,
these little hummuses, you can just snack on one and the rest is closed and sealed, and then snack on the next one whenever you want to snack.
All right. So smash it like you're smashing chickpeas to make hummus.
Yes. Very healthy, guys.
Smash like it's that hot. And last but not least, you guys know we're suckers for a little love around here. It's what keeps us going. It's the wind in our sails. And so if you haven't left a review, please do. If you leave a 5-star review and you write something, we'll read it on this podcast right here.
Absolutely.
I got one I'd like to read.
All right.
Okay, this one comes to us from our friend Enviro Esquire.
Okay. Hello.
5 stars, titled
Love it.
Fangirling.
Ooh, okay. I love that too.
Love the pod. Love that y'all are real people, down to earth. Thanks for answering my email about your outro music. Totally was fangirling to see you all actually emailing me. How cool. Well, we think it's cool that you call in, write in, want to know about the pod, want to know about the music. So thank you for reaching out to us.
And we think it's cool that you guys listen to us.
Period. Forget the music. We know half you guys just listen for the music.
Thank you. What a review.
What a review. We love it. Thank you so much for writing in. Thank you, Enviro and Viro Esquire. I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm messing it up, but we appreciate that review so much.
Absolutely.
All right. Before we get into the meat of this episode, before we get into the hummus of this episode, what about a little 90 Day by the way?
Let's do it.
Could I interest you in a little 90 Day by the way?
Interest me.
All right. Well, I hope you're interested. 90 Day by the way, number one. Let's start with Scott. Scott of Scott and Lydia.
Ooh,
Okay.
What is he up to?
What is he up to? It's a great question. He has recently announced a new business venture.
Okay.
All right. We know he was a respiratory therapist.
Yes.
And then unfortunately, he had a stroke and that kind of took him out of that field, that line of work. So then he started doing something else. I'm not exactly sure what it was he was doing.
Well, he was homeless for a little bit.
He was living in his car for a short time, but I think he started working recently. But he says there is such a thing as bad press because apparently all of the hubbub and the press and the social media led him to be fired from his most recent job.
Oh.
Which, okay, I'm with you. Some of that press is not good, but also this guy's on Instagram 23 hours a day.
Yeah.
So maybe put your phone down and do your job. But okay, he's now got a new business venture. And as I said, he's on the phone a lot. I think this is right in line. This is what he should be doing. This is where he's going to excel and thrive.
Is he getting paid for clicks?
Nope.
Okay.
Maybe they did away with that. I haven't seen. Remember, like Nicola, every
Oh my gosh.
post of hers was clickbait.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe somehow they put an end to that because I haven't seen it recently. But no, that's not what he's doing. Here's what he's doing. He's starting his own Instagram subscription platform.
Okay.
Okay. Team Scotty, he's calling it.
Ew.
I think you should workshop that name a little bit more. But Team Scotty is a Instagram subscription he's offering where he's going to do personal training. He's going to show workouts. He's going to dance and more. There is a...
Okay, so okay.
Let it sink in.
Interesting.
Let it sink in. Basically, everything he's done so far on Instagram, now he's going to start charging for it, seems like.
Okay, he needs to define his business.
Yeah, I think the and more defines it.
I feel like there are women out there who would pay for his OnlyFans.
I was going to say, I think he knows there's very little market for OnlyFans, so that's why he's kind of skewing it towards an Instagram subscription. Because, yes, there would be a handful of people who would sign up to see him shirtless and flexing those muscles. But I think...
Or flexing that penis.
Hello.
What?
I think it'd be few and far between. But I think he's thinking, I have more of an audience here. There's more people who would be interested in my training, my workouts, me dancing. He also says he's going to get nutritionists involved, dietitians involved. So I think
Okay.
he's going to try to make it a platform with some actual educational and informational pieces of content.
Okay.
Guess the price, the monthly price.
Monthly price for workouts, nutrition support, and dancing?
Yes.
$25.
Oh, well, you're going to be excited to hear it's only $19.99 a month.
Oh, okay.
And it includes a t-shirt.
Wow.
So,
Well, I think it's smart because I feel like even the Cameo and all this, like small ad, I think he charges so much for Cameo.
yeah.
There are others who charge way less, and I think you can build up more followers, especially if you're not super famous. Like I think a lot of people maybe want Cameo from Darcy, right? I got one, it was beautiful. And I feel like people like Darcy, and I hate to say this, but even maybe Angela can charge more, but there are others who I'm like, whoa, like who pays for that, right?
Okay.
So Scott starting on $19 and a t-shirt is not very cocky. He's trying something new.
Yeah, that's to me it's a little cocky, but I guess he sees the reaction he's getting on social and says, all right, people are into this and probably would pay for it. But I think $20 for just I don't know, it just seems like a potluck of content. You don't even know what you're signing up for, what you're going to get. Will it apply to me? It's not
Correct.
personal. Cameo is at least personal.
I think he'll need to define this to be like, okay, so I pay $19 or $20 a month and I'll get access to weekly workouts, upper body, lower body, full body, extreme abs or something, then maybe a couple of diet plans for people who might want to get muscles, people who might want to lose weight. Like they're different. Like you can just say, oh, dietitians and workout.
But that's the thing.
It's very you need to personalize
It's
it.
so specific. So if you and I signed up for this, we'd want 2 different programs. You're not going to get that.
I wanna get into muscles. I've been trying for so long, and the pizza weekends are just killing it right away.
Okay. So that's, by the way, number 1. How about, by the way, number 2?
Okay, number 2.
This is a 90-day adjacent piece of news. It's not full-on 90-day, but I'm excited. So there were murmurs. Teresa, tell us what a murmur is.
The murder people?
No. A murmur. I'll give you there was murmurs of.
Ooh,
there was
like rumors from the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah, mermaid secrets. Yes, there were murmurs about this months ago, and I think we talked briefly about it. Now it's a reality. It's a new television show.
Murder people too?
No.
Oh.
Sorry to get your hopes up. No. House of Villains on E. We talked about this briefly months ago. But House of Villains is a new show coming to E.
Is it the one that Francesca from Too Hot to Handle is going to be there?
No.
Oh.
Maybe there was talk of her, but no. This is 10 reality stars known as villains on their respective shows competing against each other to be named America's ultimate supervillain, with the winner walking away with a $200,000 cash prize.
Nice. And I think, so this is not the one where people will be speaking different languages.
No.
Because that's the one Francesca was going to be on.
No.
Remember?
No.
There was a dating one with everyone speaking different language.
Yeah, these people can barely speak English from what I've seen.
So who's on it?
And English is their first language. Okay. The reason I bring it up is because Anfisa
I know.
is on it. Okay? So excited about that. Others, Johnny Bananas from the real world. Okay, shout out to JB. Shake from Love is Blind.
Oh.
Quite the villain. Quite the villain. Johnny Fairplay from Survivor. Bobby Lights from Love and Hip Hop. Corinne from Bachelor in Paradise. Omarosa from The Apprentice. No?
No.
Okay.
No.
Tiffany, a.k.a. New York from Flavor of Love. Jax from Vanderpump Rules. And Tanisha Thomas from Bad Girls Club. So they're all going to compete. There's going to be physical challenges, mental challenges. They're going to compete. If you win, you're safe from elimination that week. And then at the end of the week, a villain sent home. And then we see who's left.
Interesting.
Why
is Anfisa on it?
She's a villain.
Oh, she was a little villain.
Come on. Give me my makeup bag. Pay for this. Yelling at that.
True, but I think she turned her life around from that when he got incarcerated. And she's like, fuck.
You're right.
And she built her own empire. She's doing her own thing. I think she distanced herself from the 90-day world. Like, she's on social media, but I think she's just she found her own thing, which is good.
You're right. I'm kind of surprised that she would get involved in this because she is doing her own thing in the fitness space. And
I think she's making decent cash and all that. Yeah,
this has got to be dragging her back into the drama. But okay, I'm sure it's a nice payday and fun and keeps your name out there, and that's good for business.
True.
So unless you're a Scott, but okay, it's premiering Thursday, October 12th at 10 p.m. on E, with supersized 75-minute long episodes airing simultaneously on Bravo, Sci-Fi, and USA. So I'm excited. I don't think we'll be covering this, but we'll be watching, and I could see us doing a Patreon bonus or two.
I can do a Patreon bonus, yeah.
Do a Patreon bonus or two. All right. Our monthly Patreon is way less than Scott's monthly. So
correct.
There you go. All right. That is 90 Day, by the way. What do you say we do with the reason we're here Sunday night, 90 Day Fiancé, before the 90 days, Lucky 13.
Oh, yeah. Lucky 13. I love the number 13.
We're not going to get into it.
Okay. I think I've said it before.
We went on a whole long conversation about the number 13, Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah.
On and on.
I think people are just afraid of it. You should embrace it. Embrace what you're afraid of.
All right. Shall we talk about this first couple?
Yes. Let's talk about Cleo and Christian.
Let's just start hot.
Yeah. So Cleo is a little concerned after the astrology reading.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's interesting? And we talked about it before, whether we believe or not. I don't believe in that stuff.
No.
But I would love to know what our astrology reading would be. Not to freak out over it like Cleo, but I would just be very interested because we are the same sign. We're the same astrological sign. Our birthdays are literally a couple days apart. So I would love to know what the deal is.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
I don't buy it either, but like, you know, the relationship we have, right? I would be interested to hear someone to say, I imagine they're like, oh, you guys are probably, like, you guys are not getting along. And I would be like, oh, you're not very good at this.
I just think it's one of those things where you can make it make sense. I feel like you get one piece of advice and you can tailor it to your life, or if you don't want to, you could explain it away. I just don't think it's anything that's so specific that it's, oh my gosh, yes, this is exactly me. I think it's broad strokes and then you adapt it to your life.
Yeah, it's every reading. And I told you I did the old gypsy reading. She was very popular, but I think there were a few things she said, she guessed, and a few things I'm like, I don't have a brother.
That I know of.
But yeah, I think Cleo takes this very seriously.
Yeah.
So the whole reading really affected her point of view of the relationship. However, she wants to get back on track. She wants to make sure they do everything they can to make this work.
And what better way to get back on track than with a little dress up, a little cosplay?
So they talked about doing cosplay together. And for me, when you say cosplay, I picture these conventions.
Yeah. I automatically go sexual, and I don't think it is. I think it's just like dress up, like you're dressing up like characters. But yes, there are those types of conventions, and there are those who bring the costumes to the bedroom. And we're not here to judge either of them.
No, you do you.
You do you. You do your partner as well, whoever they may be dressed as.
So Christian's idea is like, let's dress as those 1920s gangsters. So they both dressed, and he looks way better than he normally does.
Ooh.
Like, his clothes sucks. I don't know, with the jacket from 1998.
Yeah.
But at least I'm like, all right, dude, maybe you should rethink your closet.
Yeah. I think like a guy in LFO wore that leather jacket or something.
I remember the jackets. I was in like middle school or early high school when it got popular.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for a good leather jacket. Black. Just black. I could maybe see blue, but black. But that whole thing with it's like a driver, like a car race driver
No,
style.
I think he's trying to be like motorcycle.
Yeah, it's
not it. But yes, they're dressing up as 1920s gangster and flapper girl.
yes. But first, let us measure Christian's neck.
Yikes.
And I didn't know. I mean, I do know that's a thing. If you buy a nice shirt, make sure it fits, right? But I didn't know you have to get your neck measured for a costume.
I don't think you do.
Right? But
I'm glad they did.
the store clerk is measuring. He's like, oh my gosh, your neck is so tiny. You have the tiniest neck I've ever seen.
He goes, this is the skinniest neck I've ever seen. Very, very small.
And then Cleo is like, my Adam's apple is twice the size as his.
Yeah.
And you could tell that Christian's like not loving that comment. Did you pick up on it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I never knew neck shaming was a thing. But yeah, it was a little emasculating towards Christian, who is already dealing with a lot in his own mind right now. And so I just think that hit differently. That hit extra hard for him. If the sales associate said that to me, I'd be like, oh, why, thank you. But because of everything we've seen over the past couple of weeks with Christian, I think it's just hitting a little different.
Do you think, like, let's say if you gain weight, your neck gets bigger?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I never thought of that.
What are you talking about?
I think you have one neck. It's like your head doesn't really get bigger.
Yes, it does. Your skull doesn't, but everything attached to it does.
I guess. You see, I never thought of it at all.
Yeah.
I never thought of measuring my neck.
Yeah, I think as a guy, I do. I need to know, okay, I could button this top button and put a tie on. And so, yeah, it's always like 15 3/4, 16 1/4. Like, it's very specific measurements.
Interesting. Well, Christian has a 14. It's a tiny, tiny neck, apparently. I had no idea. But here's the thing. His neck doesn't look small. Like, if you look at him, I wouldn't be like, oh, look at this dark guy with a small neck.
I mean, I don't really look at his neck. The only neck I look at is Smollett's.
Oh, yeah, that's a different show.
Yeah,
that's a different show we release on Wednesdays.
Yeah. Okay, so they get the measurements. They change into their costumes. They're loving it. They're starting with the accents. They're dancing. They're having fun. This is just what the doctor ordered. This is what Christian and Cleo needed.
Yeah, so next costume, this a little middle-aged vibe. He dresses as a knight, and she dresses as a middle-aged lady.
He went all out on this outfit. This was legit.
Still better than his actual wardrobe.
Yes, this actually would protect, unlike his leather jacket that he thinks is offering protection on like a motorcycle that he doesn't ride. This would protect.
Did you know that I love movies from the Middle Ages? There is a knight, there is a king, a couple of queens, some princesses. I'm sold.
All right. I'm not that into it, but you do you.
I know you're not, which is ridiculous, but
Okay.
maybe one day.
Okay. So Christian, he's wearing his armor. He's feeling good. And he wants to play that romantic part, that knight in shining armor. And so he goes, well, I think now's the right time. I'd like to give you something. I bought you something last night. And he whips out a sterling silver necklace. And he says, this represents my love for you.
And Cleo's like, your love?
Did you just say love while you give me a sterling silver necklace?
How do you know it's sterling silver?
He made a point to say it was sterling silver.
Oh.
Just be like, this is a necklace. I don't think sterling, and I'm not a jewelry expert, but I don't think sterling silver is panty dropper talk.
No, but maybe he wanted to be specific because she may have allergies to different materials. Some, like for example, fun fact, I cannot have silver earrings.
I know, but you would have stainless steel probably.
Yes.
Yeah. So I feel like you would go stainless steel over sterling silver.
I would go stainless steel because my body does accept that, but I cannot have silver earrings.
I just meant the royal you. I didn't mean you specifically. I meant if Christian was concerned about an allergy, you would go stainless steel.
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't go sterling. But okay, it's the thought that counts, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It is always the thought that counts.
The thought that counts, and it's the words that accompanied that thought, which is love. This was a big moment.
Big moment. They hug, they make out.
When she pictured the first time he said, I love you, I don't know that she pictured him wearing medieval armor.
But he didn't say I love you. He said, this is showing my love, which
but then
it is kind of saying it without saying it.
Yeah, he said, I want to keep working on us. It was all the right words, and it meant a lot to Cleo, and they go in for this hug and then this little makeout sesh.
Correct. So, things are great. So, how about a little Thanksgiving shopping? Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, Christians staying in England, which no one else celebrates Thanksgiving but the U.S., so he's gonna miss it. He always celebrates with his family. How about we do a little celebration? You, me, and Jane.
Yeah. So they head to the store. They have to grab the ingredients they need. I was hoping for some more comedy from this scene.
What do you mean?
It really kind of felt, I don't know. Paul goes to the supermarket. He's like, 5 for 5. 5 for 5, friend. Oh, you buy 5, you get 5. It's like,
that's Paul.
I know, but this is Christian.
Correct. Well, I kind of want to see the cooking because he said this is the first time I'm going to cook the Thanksgiving meal. And from what I know, cooking that bird is difficult.
Yeah.
Unless he's not making turkey.
For sure. No, because they go to the counter. They compare two turkeys. They get the smaller of the two. But yeah, they just walked in and it was like, oh, pineapple. I like pineapple, but it's not very Thanksgiving. Oh, cranberries? Well, juice, but not this. So like, it was kind of a dry shopping excursion. But they got what they needed and they leave.
Yes. So Cleo has a class. And Christian, he needs some alcohol. He needs to go to the pub because it's been a while.
Yeah, maybe she's taking class from home, I guess, and so he couldn't be there. She's doing online courses.
I think she went to class. I just think he loves going out.
Yeah, and that's true. I guess if I'm in a foreign city, I'm not going to sit at home for 3-4 hours. I'll go explore. I may explore more than the bottom of a couple pint glasses, but that's what he chose to do. He says, I'm going to go to the pub for a couple pints to kill time.
So 4 hours later, he's back at the Airbnb. Cleo walks in and he's drunk.
He was bouncing off the walls.
Bouncing off the walls. You can tell that he is a happy drunk. Everyone's different.
I don't think he always is. I think the right cocktails got him there.
Interesting.
He did say he switched to wine at the apartment. Wine for me is always a little bit more of a smiley drunk.
Is it?
Yeah.
You see, I don't think I have... There was this whole bit on How I Met Your Mother. Do you remember? About how different alcohols make you different type of drunk.
Remind me.
It's like when Marshall and Barney were fighting, and then Robin and Lily were like, well, we need to get them drunk, but they were trying to find the right type of drunk.
Okay.
So they were like drinking tequila, they got wild, drinking Daiquiris, they got like a little sassy and kiss everyone, and drinking absinthe, and they're floating in the air.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. I do. I don't totally subscribe to like, if I have tequila, I'm going to fight the bar. But I do have, certain alcohols give me more hungover. Certain alcohols take more to affect me. And yeah, wine does tend to make me a little bit more smiley.
Like wine makes me very chatty.
Yeah.
And tequila makes me want to like hit the dance floor. It doesn't matter where I am.
Yeah.
I can be home. I can be at a bar. I can be at a club. I smell tequila. I'm about to hit the dance floor.
She's not lying, folks. All right. So Cleo's home. Christian's bouncing all around the room, pouring Cleo wine. And surprise, surprise, Christian made a friend at the bar.
Yeah, he's like, well, I met this American girl. And, you know, it was great to meet someone from America in England. And we see the clip of Christian hitting on this girl.
This was brutal. It was good that there were cameras there, and I think hopefully that would give Cleo some peace of mind. But having to watch this was so awkward.
Yes. And then he asked her for like social media and stuff.
Oh, yeah. He was like, I'm not really a big drinker. It's like, okay, there's your first lie. But we're here. So, cheers to Americans in London. Follow me on social media. Let's stay in touch.
That's why he was flirting, because you wouldn't just tell a random girl like, oh yeah, I'm not a big drinker. You'd be like, hey, I'm here celebrating with my girl. Finally met her, like YOLO, cheers to that. Like you wouldn't just play a persona.
Also, if I was at a bar and I started talking to someone who was sitting at the bar alone and they told me they weren't a big drinker, I'd be like, sir, you're at a bar alone. That's
a great point.
It's a pretty big sign that you'll like the sauce. If you were there with a group of 6 other dudes and you're like, I'm not really a big drinker, I'm just here with my buddies, I'd be cool, I get that. Makes total sense. It's the middle of the day and you're at the bar by yourself.
That's a great point. Also, I hope this girl watches this show, how he got banned from drinking anything else on the plane, which is outrageous to me. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So, okay, it gets worse, though, than just him chatting up a fellow American at the bar. He invited her to Cleo's for Thanksgiving.
Yes. Well, Cleo invited Jane.
Okay.
So there is a part of me that I feel like in his head, he's like, well, I might as well bring a friend when he was drunk.
Okay. I can almost make sense of that logic, except for, I don't know, 9 or 10 things. One, it's not your house to invite someone to.
Well, it's an Airbnb.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's scratch that then. You're still inviting a girl back to, I guess, your shared place when you're there specifically to spend time with Cleo to see if, do we get along? Should we make this more serious? Do we have a future? And you're inviting a random girl over?
It's really bad. Like if you did that, or if I did that to you, like just if and sometimes when I think of these things, I put myself or you in these positions so it really kind of fully hit me how bad this is.
Oh, completely. And I guess the third and final, and maybe the worst, is this is showing a pattern of behavior. This is not just like, oh yeah, there was this lonely girl in America or in London from America who has no one to celebrate Thanksgiving with. No, you were bragging about the two girls you were chatting up on the plane. Now you're talking about another girl you're chatting up. It's like, can we leave you alone?
Let's not forget about the girls at the pub
and
they went
girls
to.
But at least, well, I guess I was going to say at least Cleo was there. Maybe that makes it worse that he's doing it in front of her.
I think he gains confidence with drinking.
Of course.
And I think that when that hits, when that right level of alcohol hits and he's ready to flirt, he cannot stop himself. I think a sober Christian would not do that.
You're probably right. But so things were good. They were cosplaying. They were dancing around. They were giving out sterling silver necklaces. But now Cleo's worrying about the future again.
Yeah, because she's like, okay, first of all, bring a random person here. I don't like meeting random people. I have anxiety.
Yeah.
I don't forget about my autism. Forget my autism. Why are you bringing random girls here?
Yeah. But no, don't forget about it because it's true. He does not consider Cleo.
Correct.
He doesn't really, and maybe he doesn't know her well enough, and that's understandable because they're just meeting. But he doesn't put her needs, definitely not in front of his, but not even on an equal level as his needs, it seems like.
Nope, he does not.
Yeah. So let's see how Thanksgiving goes. See if anyone's going to be stuffing any turkeys.
Well, I'm very curious to see because the previews looked interesting with Jane being there with the right questions.
Yeah. All right.
Let's look at that beautiful hummus.
Let's go to Meisha and Nicola. And this was mind-blowing. This segment to me was I was not prepared for this.
No. So we pick up where we left off. Meisha's meeting the family. They all are at Nicola's place and his mom's.
Yeah.
Brothers and mom sitting on the couch. Nicola's playing it cool, saying, I don't want to translate anything.
Yeah, he was refusing to explain who this beautiful woman is sitting here in your living room.
But Meisha kept pushing, and eventually he's like, okay, so this is Meisha.
Well, brother Andy asked, like, tell me, how do you know her? Where did you meet her from?
Yeah, and so he finally started speaking. He's like, she put a post about Jesus. I corrected her. 3 years later, we started talking on the phone, and we kind of grew our relationship, and we're hoping to get engaged this week. It's like, whoa.
Uh-huh.
And you're telling us now? Like, this has been going on for 7 years.
Well, that's
and you're telling us now?
Yeah, that's exactly. Mickey, Andy, the brothers are like, wait, huh? Okay, 6 years, and you didn't say anything?
And everyone's excited. No one's upset. And Misha's like, can you please, talking to the brothers, can you please translate this to mom? And I love that she is there on a mission.
Oh, yeah.
She's not there to hide. She's there to see if this can work.
Totally. Yeah. And so Mickey's like, all right, mom, in 10 days, they're getting engaged. What do you think? And I was bracing myself. I was holding on to the remote. I was getting nervous. I was like, I really feel bad for Meisha. She's putting herself out there. She wants this to happen, and she's going to just get rejected right there in her face. No, mom's like over the moon happy. She's crying. She's thrilled. She couldn't be more excited.
She's like, I want to come to America.
Yeah, and
she shook her boobs. Did you see that?
No.
Mom was like, I want to come to America.
Oh.
And she did a little dance, and everyone's loving it. I'm like, geez, Nadia, here's what I think. I think mom sees this beautiful woman and says, all right, he finally fucking met someone. Get him out of my fucking house.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. Because I got Andy and Randy over here to deal with that. I got to set them up with some women too.
Well, I think they're married.
You think so?
I think the brothers have families. I do think that.
So, okay. Yes, she's happy. She's excited, mom. That is. And then, yeah, I forgot. Okay, well, there's more bad news. Misha's a dirty whore, right? She was married and had kids.
And you have like the silence. They translate it to mom, and mom is like, so what? I keep telling him to hurry up.
Yeah.
I freaking loved it.
Team Nadia
I
all the way.
loved it. And I think Nadia's just like, just get him out of my house. Like, I want to have peace.
Well, she's a good mom for this one reason. She wants her son to be happy. She's not putting her happiness or her beliefs over anyone's.
Correct. And she's like, sure, you guys want to live in the U.S.? Yeah, I'll come visit. You do you. You be happy. Please.
Yeah.
No.
And it's almost like Nicola's getting upset that everyone's accepting her. And it's like, well, what if I told you she smokes 1 cigarette a year on New Year's? Huh? You still coming to America, Mom?
Well, I think I hope Nicola expected this shit show and it's not happening. I think he's thrown off by it. But at the same time, how well do you know your family then?
Right. And so there's 2 schools of thought here. There's the Andy school of thought who thinks, okay, well, it's actually probably Nicola who's scared that people are going to judge him because he walks around, he's holier than thou, but now he's in a relationship with a divorced woman who has 2 kids. And so Andy's going, Nicola's probably scared that people are going to judge him and his commitment to faith. That's one school of thought.
Who's Andy?
Isn't Andy Nicola's brother?
I don't know. I just called them the brothers.
Oh, well, I took notes.
Brothers and Nadia.
Oh, I had Mickey and Andy.
Okay.
Okay. So that's Andy. That's his school of thought. Then there's the Meisha school of thought, which is, okay, it's not his family who has an issue or may have an issue with my past. It's Nicola.
Which I would have subscribed to more so than Andy's school of thought.
Yeah. No, I think so too. But at the end of the day, also, I don't know if I subscribe to that school of thought because Nicola is the one pursuing Meisha knowing full well her past.
Correct.
So he's already accepted it to a certain extent.
I think he accepted it himself, but I think he still feels like bringing this up to public, even if it's to his family, it's a little, I don't want to say.
But that's Andy's school of thought then. That's saying Nicola is worried about what others are going to think of him.
Okay.
Misha's thinking, oh no, it's Nicola who has the problem.
You know, I could subscribe to both. Like, I can see both sides.
Totally.
Yeah. But all good. Mom's happy. Brothers that are like, sure, why didn't you tell us earlier, dude?
Yeah.
Nicola's shocked. And Meisha's like, oh, this was amazing. Let's get down to business with Nicola to find out if he's the one who's ashamed of the fact that I am a divorcee with 2 kids.
Yeah. So, okay, that all went well. New day. They're going to go out on the town. It's almost a celebration of acceptance. And they're going to Akar, which is this cool city with a lot of history.
5,000-year-old city.
Very cool. They go watch some cliff jumpers.
They walk around the city and Nicola is showing her where his grandparents lived because he spent his childhood here. And this is great. Meisha loves seeing it, loves learning about Nicola's 30 years back.
Yep. And then they go for that good hummus. And also to yell at a waitress for coffee.
Well, apparently that's normal because they all know each other.
You think you're in Minnesota, Meisha? Not Minnesota. Well, not Minnesota. Everyone here knows each other and loves each other. Coffee! No, we do that in New York too.
Well, you don't just yell. You know, excuse me.
If you're friendly with the server,
I guess.
you can. Hey, Flo! A little more half and half?
Flo?
Yeah.
Do you know a Flo?
Classic diner waitress name.
Tell me one Flo you know from a diner.
Well, there's a TV show. It escapes me. But Flo from Progressive, she's like a diner waitress.
What? I know who you're talking about. But
Serving up great insurance at a low price.
okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Flo.
All right, I'll give
Call
you
in.
Flo.
Everyone knows a Flo.
I know 0 Flows, but
I knew a Flo. My favorite pizza place, New Haven, Sally's Pizza. Flo was the owner. Flo and Sally owned it.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know any Flows.
I just named 3. I'm on, yeah.
I know 0 Flows. I feel like if it comes to diners, I probably can picture Luke Because
Luke?
of Luke's diner from the Gilmore Girls.
Nice. All right. Back to a car where
And that beautiful hummus.
the beautiful hummus. Meisha and Nicola just kind of going over the family conversation, and Meisha a little surprised and happy that she wasn't judged the way Nicola made it seem like she would be.
I mean, Nicola literally told her, you come, you see my family, they will hate you. My
Pretty
mom
much.
will hate you, brothers will hate you, they will all hate you. Meisha, I don't know if I'll need to protect you and not translate because they will hate you. It's like, that's what he told her.
Yeah.
And here's my question. Why? Let's say, even that's true. Mom and brothers would hate her. I would never tell someone that.
Well, you want to give someone a fair warning. Hey, you're walking into what could be a contentious situation. It's not going to be lovey-dovey or open arms, at least not from what I've experienced in the past. So it's okay to give someone a heads up.
But he has not experienced this in the past. He is a 40-something-year-old virgin, and it's not the movie with Michael Scott. It's Nicola's life. He never brought anyone to mom's house.
But maybe
so
we won't-
he couldn't know.
Maybe the brothers did. Maybe he has had some experience talking about women, and mom's like, absolutely not. You need to marry so-and-so. Or
I think mom just wants him out.
I agree.
I think mom doesn't care who he marries. I think she wants him out of her house.
I agree. What I'm missing, I don't think we got, was a testimonial from Nicola to the camera after the meeting where the producers were like, oh, so that was pretty good. Are you surprised? Like, we got to hear Meisha say, oh, wow, that was amazing. I'm so happy that I was accepted. But we never got to hear Nicola go, huh, look at that.
Correct.
Didn't expect my mom to be that welcoming.
Well, Meisha brings it up at this restaurant, and he's like, Nicola, it seems like it's not your parents, your mom, or your brothers who are worried about me being divorced. It's you. Like, you are the one who's bothered by it, not your family, not your culture. And Nicola reassures her that it's not true. He's like, not at all, not true. I love you so much. And that's where it ends.
Yeah, his face said otherwise. He was saying, I'm absolutely not bothered by your past. His face said otherwise.
Well, I just think it's because after he puts God above all,
Yeah.
and if Jesus or God say, well, she should not be divorced, I think that's what he's going by, and he just hopes she can get the annulment from the church.
True.
So it can be she can be purified in a way, and they can move forward. I think that's what bothers him. I think he's not bothered by the fact that she was married or the fact that she has kids. It's more so, how is Jesus going to look at this?
I think that's a fair point. I forgot about the need for the annulment, and that could be weighing heavy on him. Once that comes through, he could be singing a different tune.
Very true.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think this is a good place to take a break. Okay. When we come back, whee! I mean, have we talked about Gino and Jasmine yet?
Not yet, but we will soon.
We will soon. All right. We'll take a quick break. We'll tell you about our sponsors for this episode, and we'll be back in a second.
Hey guys, this episode is brought to you by Next Active. We've all heard the sayings, look good, feel good, and work hard, play hard. Well, Next Active doesn't just say it, they live by it. And here's the thing, activewear has to do more than just look amazing. It has to perform amazing. And when it does, it can help you look, feel, and perform your best too. That's what Next Active is all about. Located right in the heart of Los Angeles, Next Active is high-performance activewear that delivers. And that's not all. The company is overseen by an amazing all-women team too. And here's the best part. Right now, when you shop nextactive.com, we can save you 20% of your purchase by using promo code REALITY20NUX. That's REALITY20NUX. Guys, I'm loving the 1x1 long sleeve set, but there are so many amazing collections to choose from in super cool colors and cuts. Everything you need to go from the gym to brunch. Hello, bottomless Bloody Marys. So again, save 20% of your purchase right now at nuxactive.com with promo code reality20nux. That's reality20 NUX at checkout. Thank you for sponsoring this podcast and make positive moves with Nux Active.
Guys, if there's one thing we love more than talking about reality TV, it's a good vacation.
Sometimes you just need to escape the drama. Am I right?
You're not wrong. And there's no better place to escape to than Spectrum Resorts, rated a top 10 family beach resort with 2 amazing full-service beachfront properties.
Turquoise Place and the Beach Club Resort and Spa in Gulf Shores, Alabama.
There she is.
Guys, we recently got back from Turquoise Place, and let me tell you, this was next level vacationing.
Shout out to that complimentary breakfast, our beautiful balcony overlooking the white sand beaches, and that gorgeous water.
Plus, the on-site dining, shopping, spa services, resort-style pools, and more. Can we please go back?
I'm counting down the days, Teresa. And if you guys want an amazing getaway, right now we can save you $200 off your next reservation by using promo code POD1.
That's right. Just make sure you book directly through Spectrum Resorts and use promo code POD1 to save $200. As always, I'll have John put links in the show notes.
Thank you to Spectrum Resorts for this incredible getaway and for sponsoring this podcast.
Na zdraví!
This episode is brought to you by Drizzly.
Want to know what's even easier than throwing a drink?
Should I ask Benny's sister? Or maybe Kimberly knows?
I'll tell you. Getting a drink delivered right to your doorstep with Drizzly, your go-to app for alcohol delivery.
Of course. Drizzly lets you shop local stores, compare prices, and have your favorites delivered right to your door. Drama-free.
Exactly. No cake throwing, no name calling, just a smooth and tailored shopping experience.
Drama's fun to watch, but we prefer a hassle-free experience when it comes to getting our drinks.
Absolutely. Why leave the couch when the drinks can come to you?
I agree. Just download the Drizzly app or visit drizzly.com today. That's DRIZLY.com today.
So, thank you, Drizzly, for sponsoring our podcast, and I'll have John put a link in our show notes.
You must be 21 plus, and availability varies by location. And we're back.
Hello, Jonathan.
Hello, Teresa.
How is it going?
Good. Are you ready to talk about David's big American penis? I almost forgot about his big American penis, and then, nope, right back.
Well, let me first start with this. At the very, very, very beginning of the season, we all were kind of like, is she pregnant? She looks pregnant. I think she's pregnant. In those interviews.
I don't have the goods because I don't want to spoil it myself, so I'm refusing to look. But as I was doing my research for this week's By the Way, there were a couple articles that popped up surrounding that topic.
Yeah.
And I refuse to read it because I don't want to know.
Don't read it, but the more I look at her, because first I was like, she's just sitting strangely, right? I was like, yeah, she's probably not pregnant. She is so tiny in every single scene that even if she was sitting in a strange way, she would not have that belly. And it's not even like a belly like, oh, she gained weight. It's a very round belly.
All right, well,
Here's my only thing.
I hope for your sake she's pregnant.
Here's my thought. Maybe it is a shitty shot because why would they give it away? Like, you can do a testimonials when it cuts right above her belly, but they've been showing it a lot. Mm-hmm. So here is my thought for it. If she is pregnant, they may reveal it at the end of the season or something. So then it would kind of like, it wouldn't be a shocker that she was doing interviews like this.
Here's the only thing. From a timing point of view, this is the first time they met.
Yeah.
We're watching it. We know they banged. We know David's got a big American hog. And it's probably very fertile. So, okay. But how long does it take to show the way she's showing? 4 or 5 months?
I don't know.
So, did they really wait that long to film these scenes.
She's not showing a lot. That's why it's like you really need to like take a look at it and be like, is that a pregnant belly? It's not super obvious.
Yeah.
So that could be 3 months. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know.
Well, TBD.
TBD, but David has a plan. He's like, I'm here now. I don't know when I can come back. This whole tragedy with her mom and everything just made me love her even more. And I saw different sides of her that I appreciate, how she takes care of her family and her son. And he's like, it's the time to shine. It's the time to shine.
Yeah, it's time to go shopping.
Yes.
Sheila's got a prayer service for mom, so David's going to do some shopping on his own. Translator Amy is unavailable, so David's kind of got to figure it out himself.
And he's doing well.
Yeah, he gets to a market, he takes a cab and asks the driver, oh, can you show me where the ring store is? Show me the money, show me the ring. And he gets a little lost, but he ends up finding it. And
everyone's super helpful, but the ring store clerk.
Okay, first of all, this store looked like it was ripped straight out of Midtown Manhattan.
Right?
This looked like, you see, I love New York shirts. You see little Statue of Liberty keychains hanging. Like, this store is on every block in Midtown Manhattan.
Yes. But not with all these rings.
Certain stores. So he talks to the saleswoman. He's like, I'm looking for a ring for my girlfriend.
And he tells her, he's like, I'm deaf. I cannot hear.
Yes. And so they were using the cell phone to communicate a bit.
She spoke English, but I think she dismissed the fact that he's deaf. So he keeps talking to him, telling the cameras, he doesn't hear me. He's not responding to me.
Yeah, I think she would maybe forget over the course of the interaction. But her English is fine. I feel like, because that entire store, and this is what leads to the whole feeling like it's in New York, everything in that store was in English.
Oh, I missed
all
that.
The signage, the products, everything was in English. So she's
Interesting.
pretty fluent, I would imagine, in English.
David is looking at all these rings, trying them on, trying to figure out the one.
Because he's got big plans. He booked a romantic beach getaway.
Just for her and Sheila.
Yes, for him and Sheila.
Yes, for him and Sheila. Thank you.
The plan is, if all goes well on this vacation, pop the question.
Yes, because, as I said before, if not now, then when? He doesn't know when he can come back.
Yeah. And so he's a bit picky. He's a man who knows what he wants. And he finally finds the ring he likes. $83.
Not bad.
Not bad. I would consider that a steal.
Mm-hmm.
But here's what I'm thinking. Okay? I'm not counting anyone's money. But Sheila might. And so think about it. $83 seems pretty reasonable. Seems good. Imagine he dropped $1,000 on the ring. Sheila would probably just go, well, I wish you would just fix the house instead of spending if you have $1,000 to spend on a ring, why don't you fix the house instead? Fix these stairs. So there's almost this weird catch-22 where it's like, yeah, you want to spend money for the ring, but if you spend too much, then she's going to wish you spent it on the home or thinks you have all this money to spend on me.
Well, I don't think she'll know the price of the ring, and I don't think he'll tell her.
That's fair, too.
I'll just come out and say it. I know nothing about the rings, and the engagement ring you gave me is gorgeous and it's shiny, and I know it's a real diamond because you told me, right? And I trust you. But if you just showed it to me, I would be like, oh, that looks like a real diamond. How do I know? I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know what material it is.
Sure.
I would have no idea because I am no expert.
That's why I was very clear when I said this is sterling silver.
Wait, my ring isn't silver.
No, it's not.
Anyways, back to this ring.
Yes, so he's going to propose with the ring if things go well, even though he knows it's not the best timing. Her mom just passed. John Real says he doesn't want to move.
John Real.
Did
you say John Real?
Yeah.
Like John is real?
John Real. That would be his rapper name probably. John Real.
Maybe it could be.
Yeah, maybe.
If he makes it to the U.S.
Sure.
That's the path he's going to follow in Nebraska. Straight out of Nebraska.
JR. John Real. You're way too beautiful, girl.
That's a good song.
Yeah,
Sean Kingston.
that's what it is. I always thought he was like JR.
No, it's Sean Kingston.
Anyways, okay. So that's the plan. So let's go. Let's head off on this romantic getaway. And it's just the two of them.
Well, when they're still at the hotel room in her hometown, she asks if it can just be the two of them. And because she wants to spend time with him.
And she doesn't mean we'll leave JR home. She means, oh, please no Amy.
Yes, no Amy, because she's jealous of her being young and being able to communicate with David.
Yeah, beautiful, smart Amy with all those signs.
Well, David's down because he's like, yeah, we have some things to discuss, so I'm all down for some alone time.
Mm-hmm.
However, he needs her to start practicing some sign language.
Maybe that's, you get her a nice ring, you slip it on the finger, and that's going to make her want to show off her hands.
Oh.
That may be the little kick in the ass she needs to learn sign language.
Well, she needs to learn, and I have no
she
idea
wants to
how.
flaunt that ring.
Not even that. I think she needs to learn for her own sake if she wants to be with David.
Absolutely.
And I don't know how hard it is or not, but I think if Amy said she learned it in a month, I think Sheila can too.
Not in a month, but she could probably learn enough, more than she knows now.
Yeah, and I don't think she can get to the level of David signing because he went to a boarding school for deaf kids. So I think they learned sign language, like the fancy one, the one that's, I've read it somewhere on like Reddit that he apparently he can sign really well, and it seems like he dumps it down for the show. Like he doesn't go all in. Like he uses like easier sign language to understand.
Interesting.
But I feel like Sheila can learn. If nothing, she can learn to communicate, and then she can learn more with time.
Yeah, I agree. So, okay, they want to go on this romantic getaway, just the two of them. But they get in this van that seemed like it was public transportation. There was people passed out in the back of the van.
Yeah, I mean, you need to get there somehow.
I know, but can't you take a production van? This is the first time I think I've seen 90 Dayers in a public bus or van with just randos. It doesn't even make sense. You'd have to get permission from the people on the van.
They're asleep.
I know. They didn't even know what was happening. I was just like, that's very strange to me.
Well, maybe they were trying to make it as real as possible because David says, I spent a lot of money on this beautiful getaway and I worked a lot for this. So maybe he's trying to cut corners wherever he can.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. So, okay, 3 hours later, they get to the resort. And this place looked luxe. There's champagne on arrival, ocean views. Beautiful. And Sheila's like, this is my first nice hotel. So she's loving it.
Yeah, she's never stayed at a hotel or been to a vacation like this.
Mm-hmm. So
cheers. They welcome them with a champagne. And let's look at the room. Beautiful. And I think they still have the bed there for Amy.
Yeah, there's
right?
an extra bed.
But it's so random. It's not like sometimes in the US you book a room with two queens, right?
Yeah.
That was a big king size bed. And there was another bed, like below it.
It was almost like a cot.
Like what?
A cot. Like a rollaway bed that you bring in.
Unless John. Well, we didn't see John Rail.
No.
Yeah, maybe it's like a banging bed. It's a bang bed.
Yeah, we know they don't like to shower before they get in bed, so maybe that's the dirty bed
Well,
and the clean bed.
they do like to shower now because they sit down and David says, let's put the phone away, let's sign. I want you to sign.
Yeah.
So she tries. She is trying.
David was a little upset that she didn't learn more
Anything.
before he came. So why didn't you learn? And she makes a good point. We texted.
True, but they also FaceTimed, so she could start learning a little more.
She could.
But she said she'll work on it. So all good. I think it's good enough and satisfying for David so she can sign, hey, do you want to take a shower together?
Hello
Hello indeed, because they disappear And we just hear some laughing and clothes being taken off, and that's where we land.
Yeah.
That's where we leave them for now.
Yeah, that big American penis is ready for action.
Ooh.
Reporting for duty. All right. All right.
Are you ready to leave the Philippines and go to sunny Panama?
Let's do it.
Let's talk about Gino and Jasmine for a moment, because that was wild.
Let's start with a little spa day.
Spa day.
Jasmine wants to give Gino a spa day. So, of course, take off your hat.
Well, first of all, Gino's wearing a Hawaiian shirt with a bathrobe on top of it and his stupid hat.
Yeah, yeah. And Jasmine wants Gino to take it off so she can fully get into the spa moment and give him a face mask and a massage. But Gino, of course, will not take off that stupid hat.
But he will spin it around.
He was like, okay, okay, 1, 2, 3, and then he just like spun it around so quickly.
Like, he is so paranoid of anyone seeing his bald head. It's like, dude, we know you have a bald head. How about you just embrace it and you move on? I think it would look better than all your Hawaiian shirts.
The hats look so bad.
Bad.
Yes, the bald head cannot look.
Unless he has like a big pimple or like something that he just carries around and he's hiding from us.
At this point, it's just become his signature piece. So I get it. But in this moment, you're trying to relax. You're having a spa day. His whole vibe was anything but relaxed. Yes, wearing a hat. As you said, he's wearing a button down with a robe over it.
Mm-hmm.
And then laying on a bed with just this like sloppy mask on. The whole thing, I was uncomfortable watching it.
Yeah. So this situation went from 0 to 100 very, very fast, because Jasmine starts pampering him, puts a face mask on, and she's like, I just want him to feel good so we can talk about me not wanting to have babies, right? And all of a sudden, they start talking about a K1 visa. And Gino's like, well, I will follow up with immigration when I get home to see what's up. I'm like, no, you're not. Because you can only follow up with them when they run out of their timeline. And their timeline's usually extra 3 years.
Like,
so you cannot, they would not allow you. You can call them. They'll be like, sir, what's on your application? Does it say do not follow up with us until 2025? Well, then do that.
Well, I'm going to follow with a direct request.
Good luck, Gino.
Yeah. Well, Jasmine goes, and it'll be ignored like usual.
And that's also accurate, because they have so many cases that they don't care if you follow up or you complain. Like, they have their own timeline, and the only time, again, they will listen to you is if they run out of their own timeline.
I feel like this is a special circumstance. And if I were working in immigration, I would get Jasmine over here stat, because I want to see them together in Michigan.
Oh, I would love that.
So please, let's expedite the shit out of this case.
Well, let's see if we even get there, because we went from talking about the K1 visa to talking about Jasmine needing to be supported.
Yeah, so Jasmine's like, all right, how about this? We know we're having a delay with the K1. If I'm not going to be getting this visa anytime soon, you can at least help me pay for this apartment. I'm sick of moving. I'm sick of the stress of moving. So keep me here in this apartment that I love.
And I think it's crazy that apartment is 3,000 American dollars a month. Mm-hmm. And Gino's paying for it on top of his own rent and stuff.
Yeah. And Gino's like, well, how about 1,500 or 2,000?
Which is still that must be a decent apartment for that money.
Oh, yeah. I feel like, one, the apartment they're in now is super nice. Very luxurious. 2, they need the room because Jasmine's sister is staying there. So that's unfair if Gino has to pay for Jasmine's sister.
But I also think you can live in an equally or in a nice building, maybe not as nice, but nice enough for $2,000 and have 2 rooms.
Yeah, but Dane won't be living there.
Ooh, I keep forgetting about Dane, but She will remind us of Dane.
Yeah, momentarily.
Shortly.
So Gino's like, get your phone. Let's find another place that's more affordable. And Jasmine's like, for once, just say yes to me. And Gino goes, you're sounding a little spoiled. She's like, how am I spoiled asking for a decent place? When I met you, you had money for sugar babies. You took your ex to Disney. You took her to
Legoland.
To Legoland. But you can't get me a place I like. You're trash.
She's like, you spend more money on a week-long vacation in Legoland with your ex than you spend on my monthly apartment.
And here's why I love Gino. Because he is incapable of coming up with his own insults. All he does is parrot whatever is thrown at him. So this is the first you see it in this episode. She's like, you spend more money going to Legoland. You can't get me my own place. You're trash. And Gino just goes, no, you're trash. And then you'll see, if you follow along, every other insult that Jasmine throws at him, he just repeats back to her, which is hysterical.
Well, speaking of throwing, she starts throwing his clothes out of the closet and starts yelling at him to get out of her life and her apartment.
Mm-hmm. And then he snaps and he stands up and starts throwing her clothes. What a relaxing spa day. Let me just say that.
And then Jasmine is like, cheap weirdo motherfucker, get out of my house.
And then
she was wild. She just lost it.
The icing on the cake, which to me made the fight less serious and more just a show. She took the electric toothbrush and threw it out of the bathroom, which is just like, it's a callback to their first season. And it's like, all right, now that almost takes me out of it because it's such a performance.
Well, it is and it's not. I think maybe it's exaggerated and Gino just says, he's like, I'm done. I'm just done. But she comes back in a little bit and she's just hysterically crying, saying he's not financially helping her. And Gino is like, I wish you acknowledged the past 2.5 years when I've been sending you money and taking care of you. And Jasmine just is losing it. She's like, I just want to feel loved, Gino. And I feel like she says it every single time they fight.
Yeah.
And she runs out of good arguments. She just says she wants to feel loved.
Yeah, yeah. And he's like, well, I'm trying to give you all the love I can, but I'm not paying $3,000 a month for a place.
Yes.
And that's the last we see of them, like, in the moment. And then they go to give the interview to the camera. And Jasmine's like, I should be the most important person in your life, Gino. And Gino goes, well, you're tied. You're tied for the most important with my family. And that's all he needed to say for her to start losing it.
That says her off. She's like, how can you fucking compare me to your family?
And this is where she goes like, you're an idiot. And Gina goes, you're an idiot.
She's like, fuck you. And he's like, fuck you.
Goes,
you're a trash. You are a trash.
Goes, you're trash. No, you're trash. It's like, come up with your own rebuttals, Gino. It's fucking funny.
Then Jasmine's like, your family is a trash. And oh my gosh. Then she says something that I think she said a lot of things in the past that really insulted him in a way that not many people would come back. But this, I don't know how they're going to get over this because she's like, my ex knows how to bang me. I'm going back to him now.
She goes, I'm going to go and fuck my ex who knows how to fuck me. He's the best I've ever had. And she was like, go back to him. go to hell.
Well, and then Jasmine's like, he's the most important person in my life. Do you want to see a video of me banging Dane? It's pretty recent. like 1 month ago.
The way she said it's pretty recent, I was like, it's such a weird, just in this rage. She's like, you want to see a video of me fucking him? It's pretty recent. Like 1 month ago.
Well, when she said, do you want to see a video of me banging Dane? Gino said yes. Like, what is this? And then she just storms off.
She goes, you want to see a video of me fucking Dane? It's pretty recent, like 1 month ago. And Gina goes, is that so? Goes, go fuck yourself, you whore.
And then she leaves and he's like, psycho.
Oh my gosh. And let's not forget, it was supposed to be a spa day.
Yeah, it was not a spa day. It was a wild, wild day.
What a wild afternoon.
And I want to see how they're gonna come back from this, because what she said, like,
She's going to cry and apologize, and he's going to be like, okay, I take you back.
but if you think about it, I know a lot of people like hurting others with words, right? And I think we all tried it in the past, but at the same time, it's like, you cannot take back what you say.
No, and you have to show us the video now.
Like, you cannot take something like this back and say, oh, I was just kidding. It's like, no, you weren't.
Yeah.
Because you don't kid about something like this. You don't just make it up. Like, that's just outrageous.
The way she goes, it was pretty recent. Makes me think of whenever you're on your iPad or whatever, and it's like recent memories. And then it just puts photos and videos to music. And I just imagine her like being on her iPad, and it's like pretty recent. And it's just a video of her banging Dane to that dumb like acoustic guitar music that the iPad always puts it to.
Okay. I don't think she banged Dane, because I don't think he would want to bang her. I think he got a taste of Jasmine and her being a little unstable at times.
Mm-hmm.
I think he just wants to stay far away from it. He can be her friend, but I don't think he even banged her, because imagine that could have caused her trying to get into that relationship. And I don't think Dane would want that.
Wait, what do you mean? That could have caused her...
Like, imagine they did bang and Jasmine was like, oh my gosh, Dane, I want to get back together. I don't think Dane would want to deal with that. I think Dane is done.
Yeah, probably.
He can be her friend, which is fine, but that's about it.
Well, let's see.
Unless...
It's a pretty crazy lie to spew.
Well, here's the thing. If it's a lie, good, but not, because she said it and Gino won't forget. If it's not a lie, well, that's it. I don't think Gino will get past the fact that she banged Dane a month ago while he's paying for this $3,000 apartment.
Yeah, it's pretty recent. All right, let's move on to a couple who's doing no banging that we know of.
No banging.
Riley and Violet.
So they're meeting again at this market.
Riley's only got a couple days left. His time is winding down. So, yeah, they're going to meet up and spend the day together at a market.
Yeah, so she's trying him the market she goes to every day with her mom. He's trying some fruits.
Yeah, it was similar to a jackfruit, but I guess a little bit different.
Yeah, was it lychee?
I don't know. It could have been. I missed what she said it was.
I like lychee. I don't know if that was... Lychee is smaller, but looks similar.
Okay.
Whatever it was, I'm glad he tried. But the follow-up... He's like, this tastes like if you fried my dog shit in a
garlic butter.
I'm like, what?
Quite the picture you just painted.
Yeah. Also, what?
So they're sitting there and they're talking, and Riley's got his sweat towel and he's just covering his nose with it.
Well, he says, I can't take all the smells from all the food here, and which is disrespectful.
Yeah, classic King Kill feeling with that comment. He's like, yeah, there's just a lot of smells going on here. I don't feel great.
And Violet says it. She's like, he kills good moments. I mean, Here it comes again.
Yeah. And so they're talking, and Violet thinks Riley doesn't trust her. Right?
Yes. She's like, even when I'm honest with you, you still don't trust me. And he's telling her why. He's like, I do have trust issues. It's because of my ex cheated on me with a guy I knew. I found him in her closet, which is crazy if you think about it.
Oh, totally.
But then he's like, I don't trust women. Yeah. And that's a really bad statement.
Wrong answer.
You cannot not trust the entire species because of one or two failed relationships.
You're stereotyping, you're generalizing.
Yeah,
it's a case-by-case basis here.
Yeah, but then he kind of like brings back, well, you know, like you talking to my dad behind my back, telling him things about me, like that just didn't rub me the right way. And she kind of gets it. She's like, oh, okay, so next time I have a problem with you, I won't send your dad a nasty text message.
Yeah.
And then she apologizes.
Yeah. She said what Riley wanted her to say, which was, it was wrong of me. I shouldn't have texted your dad.
Yeah, but did she mean it? Because last time she said, no, I stand by it.
I think she means it. I really do. I don't know how you can stand by that. This childish behavior.
I guess.
I think she meant it. I think she was stubborn the first time the conversation came up, and she was like, "No, I'm never wrong. I'm not going to say I was wrong." And now she realizes, you know what? Maybe I was wrong, and she admits to it. And it's the magic words. Riley forgives Violet now.
Well, things are great. So let's do some sightseeing on this double-decker bus.
This one is not on the back of a motorcycle.
No, getting this traditional hat, which I loved.
Yes. Riley did too. Oh,
yeah.
I think it provided him some much needed shade.
Yeah, I don't think it was that hot. Is it?
He's sweating.
She's
every
wearing
scene.
She's wearing a winter hat.
True. He was nonstop sweating. He was carrying a sweat towel with him.
True. Well, Riley feels like, all right, that's been great lately. I just need to come clean and put all my cards on the table.
Oh, boy.
So he's like, well, before I came here, I talked to a PI. I was going to hire him to look into your past. But then I decided not to. I decided I'll just get to know you on my own.
You don't have the right to do that here. What we are not suitable if that's how you are going to act.
Well, I think she first dismissed his comment about I was going to do it.
Yeah, all she heard was
PI. Yeah,
he did contact the private investigator.
He did.
That's almost as bad, if not as bad, as it's thought that counts, right? The thought was, I need to get a private investigator to look into you. So I think it's just as bad, to be honest. It was probably a monetary thing. I forget how much the PI said it was going to cost.
Oh.
But Riley's like, well, I'm not going to spend that much. He went far enough for it to be bad. So she had every right to react as if he did go all the way.
And she's mad, but Riley's like, well, you know, it's a normal, common thing in my country to do this. What country do you live in, Riley? America?
Yeah.
Well, it's not. It's not common. Where is he? He's like outside of D.C., isn't he? In Virginia?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I think he's Pennsylvania.
Or Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's common there either.
No, it's more common to call up Max and Neve on Catfish than it is to call the private investigator.
Also, nowadays we just do our PR work ourselves, right? We just use the good old Google. And yeah, unless you have like a massive suspicion of, let's say if I was thinking, okay, John's cheating on me, I would try to figure out myself, and it would take months, and I'm like, I know he's doing something shady. I would maybe, and I would really feel it, I would maybe consider it, but I would need to be like 100% sure that you just do something wrong for a while, right? Mm-hmm. I wouldn't just, like if I was like, oh, John's texting tonight, I don't know who he's texting to. Let me call the PI so he can look into that. Because that was kind of Riley thinking, oh, let me just look into her past before I even get to talk to her in person.
Yeah, we've seen in the past friends enlisting friends to pose as catfish, right? With Rishi and Jen, and shout out to Randy, right? Like we've seen that before, which maybe you do that. I mean, you don't, but maybe you do that if you're immature in high school and you run that scheme. But to hire a private investigator, I don't think it's all that common.
No, it's not at all. Like there's something shady must be happening. For a while, I would hope that you want to go spend your money on something like this.
Yeah. So Riley keeps making the case that I didn't end up going through with it. I never actually went forward with it. It was just a conversation. But I think the damage is done.
It is, because Val is like, she's like, shh, don't talk to me. And she like stands up and just pays attention to the view. Yeah. And I don't think they can make it past this, because every single time they have a good moment, it's followed by two bad ones.
Yeah, can kill feeling. Mm-hmm. I don't think, prior to this, I don't think they had a future. This, I feel like, was the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Are you ready for one more couple that's definitely doomed?
Is that it? One more?
One more. It's Razvan and Amanda.
Yeah, things are still tense after that argument from the night before.
And we're still in this hotel room. I think this is episode 3.
So I saw it. I didn't bring it up, I don't think, last episode, but I've talked about how TLC 90 Day, they tweet. Every Sunday night, they'll tweet and they'll say, oh, here's a little more information on this scene. Here's a little more information on that scene. They tweeted about the fight between Amanda and Razvan and the reason it started. Do you know why it started in the first place?
I don't know.
So This is what they wrote.
Also, they didn't tweet, they X'd.
Oh, they X'd. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I will never say that. Okay. This is what the X was. According to Razvan, things escalated last night when Amanda wanted French fries at 3 a.m. But Razvan told her the hotel restaurant was closed, and Amanda told him another guy would have gotten them for me.
Ooh.
So I think that's the whole, oh, you're bringing up Jason. You're comparing me to Jason. It was probably, well, Jason would have gotten me fries at 3 a.m.
Oh, boy.
So, yeah, because Jason would have probably supersized them and snacked on them along with you. But have you seen Razvan's abs? That guy's not eating fries.
Also, who makes you fries at 3 a.m.? Like, no hotels in the U.S. will do that for you. Unless there is 24/7 McDonald's down the street.
Mm-hmm.
Girlfriend, you're not getting fries at 3 a.m.
Yeah. So that's what the argument was over. So
Oh, boy.
now they're sitting at the hotel and they're still kind of debating and having this conversation over what was said the night before. And Amanda brings up how they're different. They're two different people. And she asks Razvan, would you be willing to make sacrifices for our family if we had one? Like, would you be a janitor if your dreams of a life in entertainment failed? Would you be willing to put your pride aside and do janitorial work or something else for the family? And he doesn't even really answer the question. He just gets upset that Amanda, I think, is doubting his ability to fulfill his dreams.
Well, because Amanda said, well, I'm just nervous that you would come and I would need to take care of you until you fulfill your dreams.
Yeah.
And he's saying, I never asked you for money. I never ask anyone for anything. I work hard. I work on myself. And he's like, I want to be with someone who supports my dreams.
Mm-hmm. And I get that completely. But also, you have to live in the real world. And I think it's a good question. Would you be willing to hustle like so many do who are chasing their dreams? Are you willing to bust tables? Are you willing to do the hard work, the janitorial work, the odd jobs? Are you willing to do that while you chase your dreams? He's not really answering that question.
Because he doesn't want to. He has his eye on a prize. And I think he's doing well in Romania with all the social media. And I honestly think he just needs to stay there.
Yeah. And to your point, maybe he is making enough influencing or through social media where he's like, well, why would I go take a minimum wage job?
Yeah.
I'm making minimum wage or minimum wage plus doing this.
I think he must be like that apartment he lives in. That whole building is very nice.
It
I know
looks very nice.
it's a studio or one bedroom, but I'm
It
sure
is a studio. It's a freaking TV studio. Do you see the lights that are hanging from the ceiling? It's like, jeez.
Yeah, but it looks like a very nice building, and I'm sure it's pricey compared to many other places in that town. So I think he must be making decent money for himself to support himself. I don't think he maybe makes enough to support her and 2 kids in a different country. But I think that's where he's kind of like, wait a minute, like, you want to kill my dreams? I do well for myself. I've never asked you for anything, and you're just a Debbie Downer here.
And that's a good point, because not only is Amanda discounting his dreams in a way by bringing up, oh, well, maybe you have to be a janitor. She's discounting what he's doing currently.
Yeah.
Saying, oh, whatever you're doing now, this is ridiculous. I see ring lights and green screens. Like, this is ridiculous. You might have to really bust your ass, blue collar shit. And that's discounting all the hard work and what he's built currently. Because, he probably could continue doing that and making decent money.
Yeah, plus now he can get on the Cameo. He can get on OnlyFans, whatever.
His star is only rising.
Oh, yeah.
So okay.
Yeah, she definitely, like, I support your dreams 100%. But at the same time, I know if it came down to something, I would do anything to survive. And I have in the past. Mm-hmm. I know you would too. Mm-hmm. Like, you would go the extra mile if you had to, if we had to.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds, I don't want to sound like, oh, look at us podcasting, but it does take a lot of work and it does take a lot of research. We love doing it, right? But we do go the extra mile on this.
We try to.
Yes, we try to.
We're hustling over here.
We are.
Yeah. So, okay. Amanda says, well, I wanted you to be the right person, but maybe we're just not right for each other. And Razvan starts crying. he really was invested in this relationship and thought Amanda could be the one, or he wanted to go to America.
Well, I think he's hurt because he tells her, well, why didn't you tell me this earlier? Like, you put me through all this.
Yeah.
And now you're coming and you're saying, well, we're different. It's like, no.
Yeah, but you weren't spending any time together in real life. So she's telling him pretty early on. I'm not taking Amanda's side at all, but she wanted to go and meet him in person. She's not going to know how she feels about someone before that happens.
Correct. But her issues with him is not how he looks or how he feels around him. I think she likes him, but it's the fact that his glamorous lifestyle, that he is an influencer. He wants to be an actor or a singer or something, and she wants someone or like Jason, and she finally admits, she starts crying and she admits that she's scared to be in a new relationship and move on because she didn't expect it's gonna be so hard.
Yeah.
She finally admits it.
This was a big moment of clarity, some real honesty from her.
And the rest one's crying, but he's like, like, we need to go back. We both need to think about it. It's like, we both need to think about if this is worth it, if this is going to work.
Yeah. In the car ride, she continues down this moment of clarity. And she says, it's harder than I thought to close the chapter on Jason. And this is what we all saw from episode 1, was this wasn't reality for her. This was some influencer, some social media hunk that she was talking to. It was almost like, I don't want to say like porn, but it's not real. You're watching video, you're looking at photos. It's not real. It's fantasy. Well, then it became real, and now she's realizing, pursuing Razvan means closing the chapter on Jason.
Yes. Here's why I'm going to give her shit again. Because Razvan is like, well, we're supposed to go and see my parents in Croatia tomorrow. I don't even know if we should go. And she's like, well, I still want to. I want to stay.
Yeah.
I want to work on things, and I want to meet your family.
Yeah.
And here's my question. Why? Meeting someone's parents is a huge deal, especially if he was married before, they hated his ex, and it essentially ended because they weren't good for each other. Bringing someone to your family that you're not sure about, why? Like, literally, unless mom says, I want to be on TV, then I don't see a reason why.
Well, again, not to defend Amanda, but she's here for a reason. It's to meet Razvan, see if they're compatible, and take it from there. So she's willing to continue down that path. She's having a hard time closing the chapter on Jason. But at the end of the day, as hard as it is to say and to accept, Jason's not coming back. It's not like if she books her flight home early and says, I was wrong, I shouldn't have chased Razvan, that Jason's coming back and they can live happily ever after. That ship has sailed. So for her to continue to pursue Razvan, it's difficult, but it's not wrong. So if the only thing keeping her from a happy relationship with Razvan is Jason and feeling guilty, well, okay, you can have those feelings and still pursue Razvan because Jason's not coming back.
He's not coming back. And also, Razvan is not Jason. He's not Jason 2.0. He's a very, very different type of a person. And I think she really hurt him with some of the words she said. For example, what you told me when the whole fight started over French fries at 3 a.m. and she said, well, Jason would have gotten it for me. And she apparently said, he's not even half the man that Jason was, which is horrible. A horrible thing to say to a man that you are dating. Like, and now, on top of that, you want to go and see his parents? How about you stay in Romania for a little longer, but work on the relationship? Don't mix the parents. Don't do this.
Yeah, I don't know if she is feeling guilty or if she's feeling like she did overstep. But now when they get back to the apartment, she's being all lovey-dovey, and Razvan seems uninterested. He seems to be.
She is being the most lovey-dovey we've ever seen her.
It's weird.
It's very weird. And I think it's really hitting Razvan because he's probably like, let's just pack and, I'm going to shower. And Amanda was like, yeah, I've never seen him like this, very, very cold. It's like, you switched roles.
Well, I could imagine, and we haven't really seen it, but we've heard enough, where I could say, I can picture her a little Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. I could see her one way, and we're seeing a tale of two Amandas here a little bit where she is lovey-dovey. And it is a little weird because we haven't seen it like that. And I could imagine the Amanda, when the cameras are off, screaming at the top of her lungs, "Get me French fries." And so I bet you there is maybe a little bit of a split personality going on here. And Rasmus's just checked out. He's like, I can't deal with this.
Yeah.
It's where it ends. We'll see them in Croatia, maybe.
Maybe.
I would like to see Croatia.
I think we will see them in Croatia because I saw the previews.
Oh.
You should go to Croatia. Czech people love Croatia. You would love Croatia. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see about this couple. I'm always like, they cannot make it. They will finally break up because she's just not in this. And then they'll go to Croatia. So who knows?
Who knows? All right. That's the episode. Thank you guys for listening. If you guys want more, we're on Patreon and Supercast. Patreon.com/marriedtoreality, marriedtoreality.supercast.com. We're talking about The Other Way over there. And a little birdie told me Love is Blind After the Altar is coming back. So there may be some of that content. No
you know
promises.
what that means, guys?
We may
or may not cover 90 Day. Oh, no. Love is Blind After the Altar on the Patreon for all peeps.
That's right. If
and on the Supercast.
If we do decide to cover, and again, we may.
Or may not.
But if we do, it will be for all. It's just we like to throw Patreon bonuses, Supercast bonuses, and we always do a monthly Family Affair bonus. We just covered episode 1 of Sister Wives this season. And that's for the Family Affair only because that's the highest tier and we give them a little something extra. But once in a while we do something for all the family affairs, for all the patrons, I should
and
say.
The Supercast
and the
members.
Supercast. And if we do, it will be Love is Blind After the Altar.
Correct. And guys, guess what? The season of May or May Not is coming back.
Oh.
You remember? We may or may not be in costumes.
Oh, yeah. We may or may not do a Halloween bonus.
We may or may not.
That's like more than a month away.
Still, I like to plan ahead. I may or may not.
All right. Maybe we'll dress up like Cleo and Christian.
Definitely not.
All right. Well, something.
Something original. Come on.
All right. Something original. All right. So that is Patreon. That is Supercast. We're also on Instagram. Give us a follow there at Married to Reality Pod. Call in, message us, share your thoughts, share any tips on By the Ways. We love it all on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod.
Yes.
Also, make sure you're just following the podcast wherever you're listening. So no matter what we drop, when we drop it, if it's on the free feed, you'll get it immediately to your device. It's so easy to follow the podcast. Just look down, smash that follow button.
Guys, smash it like it's hot as that beautiful review we got from our friend
Enviro Esquire.
We loved it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm fanboying over this review, Enviro.
I'm fangirling over this review.
So thank you. If you haven't left a review, be like our friend Enviro Esquire and drop us a rating, drop us a review. If it's a 5-star review, we'll read it on this podcast right here.
Yes.
All right. That is it. I think I've said it all.
I've said too much.
You said way too much, Therese. I was about to turn off the mics a couple times. You said.
I think you almost did accidentally.
You said way too much. Yes. All right. So that is that. I've said it all. You said it all. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.